There are 5 rules in the Army that, do I think it's stupid? Maybe. Or are they outdated? Probably. This video, we're gonna talk about all 5 of them, and I'm gonna try to explain why those rules exist. But first off, here's a disclaimer. The first one is putting your hands inside your pocket.
All you gotta do is take this pocket right here.
Can you put your hands inside your pocket? Absolutely. Temporarily, however. You can only do this by grabbing something inside your pocket, like your keys or whatever the case may be. Which shouldn't be a big deal. However, when it gets cold, that's really where I'm having a problem with. No matter how cold it gets, you can't put your hands inside your pocket.
15 degrees Fahrenheit. I was freezing.
Excuse me, sir. You shouldn't have your hands in your pants.
You're absolutely right.
The Army does explain why they have this rule. If you do a Google search, there's only 2 things that could tie it up why the Army thinks it shouldn't be allowed. Number 1 is you putting your hands inside your pocket. You're lacking in confidence. Do I agree with it? I don't think so. The other one is some cultures say that putting your hands inside your pocket is a sign of disrespect, especially when you're talking to your superior officer or somebody that outranks you. Really? And I don't think I'm disrespecting anybody when I'm putting my hands in my pocket because I'm cold. Well, now you know you can't do that. The only solution to this is wear gloves. I don't know what to tell you. Second one is using your cell phone while you're walking. Also, smoking while you're walking and eating while you're walking. Well, this one, the Army does explain why they don't want you to do this. It's because they don't want you to do anything that will interfere
Major Winters.
Captain Sobel, we salute the rank, not the man.
of you rendering a salute or giving the greeting of the day, which is, you know, it's a respect thing. Do I agree with it? Sure. I get the cell phone piece. You don't want to be that guy hitting the pole because you're on your phone. How are you going to say good morning, sir, ma'am, first sergeant, command sergeant, major if your mouth is full? All right, let's move on to the third one. Mustache. I did try to grow my mustache last month and it got itchy. The Army tells you, even though you can't have beards, you can grow a mustache to some extent. They even gave you a picture diagram. Basically, two things. You can have the mustache, but you can't have a bushy appearance or chopped. You have to trim it, you have to taper it, and you can't pass the corner of your lip right here and the lower portion of your nose. And no, you can't have one of those handlebar mustaches. It specifically says that under regulation. Why, you might ask? I don't know.
No, that's a bit of a problem.
Sorry folks, beards are still not allowed in the Army, except if you have a shaving profile due to medical reasons or you have an exception to policy because of religious accommodations.
This is Sparta!
We're not there yet. I know a lot of soldiers are advocating to grow their beards, but for me, I really don't care because I can't even grow a beard. Next one, get off my grass. This is not on any regulation I looked. And by the way, if you're wondering what regulation you should be looking for on what I'm talking about in this video, there's only really two. One is the AR 600-20, Chapter 4, which is Military Discipline and Conduct, and the AR 670-1, which is the wear and appearance of the military uniform and insignia. Just in case you're wondering, look it up. Even with those regulations present, stepping on the grass is not there. Now, why? Well, for obvious reasons, right? If they don't have these rules and all soldiers just walking in the grass, not using the sidewalk, eventually it's gonna ruin the grass. Occasionally we use the grass for formation and ceremonies. And I get this piece because when I first joined the Army, it started as an E1. We call it E-Fuzzy. Every now and then we have this what we call Operation Area Beautification. And guess who's in charge that making sure that operation gets done? You. The very last one, which is online misconduct. With the rise of social media, Instagram, TikTok, this is really, you know, is it allowed? We ask ourselves that when we see videos of soldiers on TikTok doing funny and crazy stuff. The Army is not very specific in this one. In fact, the regulation is very vague. They define online misconduct as the use of electronic communication to inflict harm. That's it. These are the examples of online misconduct: hazing, bullying, harassment, discriminatory harassment, stalking, retaliation, or any other misconduct that undermines dignity and respect. When you're talking about think, you should be thinking about the message and your audience. You gotta think about the Army values. If you don't know what the Army values are, then we're in trouble. But for your reference, it's the acronym of leadership: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. I think I got that right. So you gotta consider your message. It has to demonstrate two things and for two people. Two things are dignity and respect, and for those two people, which is self and others. I hope I earned your subscription today, and you can watch some of these videos that I made next. This is the High Speed FNG.
Just give me your therapy, and I couldn't stand to believe it. And I do no wrong, I just leave it. She likes to change with